For years now, fans have been asking, begging really, for some kind of update on Bloodborne. Whether it's a remaster for console, a 60 FPS update, a PC port, or even a sequel, the game's community has been holding out hope that Sony would finally do something with the IP. But according to reliable insiders like Jeff Grubb, nothing is actually happening with Bloodborne. Now that might sound shocking, especially when you consider how beloved the game is. Bloodborne isn't just another PlayStation 4 title, it's one of the defining action RPGs of its generation. Dark, atmospheric, and brutally challenging, the game that leaves an impact long after you finish playing it. Sony even owns the rights to Bloodborne outright. That means you wouldn't necessarily need From Software, the studio that originally developed it, to bring it back to life. Bluepoint Games, the studio that did a fantastic job with the Demon's Souls remake, could theoretically take on the project, and yet Sony hasn't moved forward with any kind of remake, remaster, or even a PC port. What makes this more surprising is that Bloodborne actually sold very well. By 2020, the game had sold nearly 7.5 million copies, an impressive number for such a challenging, niche title only available in one place and on one platform. So with that kind of success, you'd think Sony would see the value in giving fans what they've been asking for. Instead, Bloodborne remains locked to PlayStation 4, running at just 30 frames per second. Even if you play it through backward compatibility, the frames just do not move up. And for PC players hoping to see it join the list of some of the Sony games that have made the jump to Steam, don't hold your breath anytime soon. The word is, nothing is happening at all with Bloodborne down the pipeline. So why is Sony ignoring one of its most requested franchises? Is it because they don't see the return on investment? It's plausible, right? Maybe they just don't think people are going to dive into this game. But then you also look at the studio, the original studio that developed the game, From Software. Are they too busy with projects like Elden Ring and the expansions? And they've also got a new game coming out, Duskbloods, for Nintendo's next console. Is that the reason why they've not been tasked with going ahead and making a next version or an update? Whatever the reason is, it's frustrating for fans who feel like one of PlayStation's best games is being left behind. And there's something else to also think about. If Sony continues to sit on the Bloodborne IP, do players eventually move on and stop asking for it? Or does the demand just keep building until the pressure becomes impossible to ignore? Because we've seen this before, right? Fans are asking for a comeback of games like Killzone, the infamous series, and we haven't really had anything from Sony regarding those games. We have so many great PlayStation IPs which could be greenlit, and they would sell like hotcakes. I'm convinced of it. The demand is there. Bloodborne itself sold close to 7.5 million copies. Even if it had a 60 FPS patch for like $10, I'm pretty sure most of those players would go back in and replay it for that kind of price. Just seems like a crying shame to me.